Halloween, a night of costumes, candy, and spooky delights. A time when the streets come alive with the laughter of children and the eerie glow of jack-o'-lanterns. But beneath the surface of this modern celebration lies a rich and ancient history stretching back to the mists of time. A history that tells of ancient rituals and beliefs that have shaped the way we celebrate today. Long before trick-or-treating and haunted houses, the ancient Celts of Ireland and Britain observed a festival known as Samhain, a time steeped in mystery and tradition. Samhain was a time when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead was at its thinnest, allowing for a unique connection between the two realms. Samhain, pronounced Samhain, marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the dark half of the year. It was a pivotal moment in the Celtic calendar, a time of transition and reflection. It was a time of both celebration and solemnity, a time to honor the dead and welcome the coming winter. The Celts would light bonfires and perform rituals to ensure the protection of their homes and families. The Celts believed that on this night, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, allowing spirits to cross over. This belief in the permeability of the veil gave rise to many customs and traditions. This belief in the permeability of the veil between worlds on Samhain shaped many of the festival's customs, from bonfires to costumes. People would dress in costumes to disguise themselves from wandering spirits. Join us as we journey back in time to explore the fascinating origins of Halloween, tracing its evolution from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain to the modern holiday we know today. Discover how ancient traditions have been transformed and adapted over the centuries, creating the Halloween we celebrate now. For the Celts, who lived in harmony with the cycles of nature, Samhain held profound significance. It was a time when the veil between the physical world and the spiritual realm was believed to be at its thinnest, allowing for a unique connection with ancestors and spirits. It was not merely a festival, it was a pivotal point in their calendar, marking the end of one year and the start of another. This transition was deeply rooted in their understanding of the natural world and its cycles. Unlike our modern calendar, which begins in the depths of winter, the Celtic year commenced with the onset of winter, symbolizing a time of dormancy and introspection. This period was seen as essential for personal and communal reflection. Samhain, falling on the eve of November 1st, marked this transition. It was a moment to honor the past year and prepare for the new one, both physically and spiritually. The harvest was complete, the days grew shorter and the nights grew longer. This shift in the environment was a reminder of the ever-changing nature of life. It was a time when the Celts took stock of their provisions, prepared for the coming winter, and honored the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. They believed that this cycle was mirrored in the natural world around them. The festival was a time for both reflection and celebration, a time to acknowledge the past and embrace the unknown future. Through rituals, dances, and communal gatherings, they strengthened their bonds and reaffirmed their connection to the earth and each other. The Celts believed that on the eve of Samhain, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead thinned, allowing spirits to pass through. This night was considered a powerful and mystical time, filled with both wonder and fear. This belief permeated their rituals and customs, which were designed to both appease and ward off these spirits. They performed various ceremonies to honor the dead and protect the living, ensuring harmony between the two realms. Bonfires, a central element of Samhain celebrations, served a dual purpose. They provided warmth and light, but they were also believed to ward off malevolent spirits. The flames were thought to have protective qualities, keeping the community safe from harm. People would often leap over the bonfires for good luck or carry embers from the sacred flames back to their homes to relight their hearths. This act was seen as a way to bring the protective power of the bonfire into their personal spaces. Costumes, often made from animal skins and heads, were worn to ward off spirits or to disguise oneself from them. These disguises were believed to confuse or scare away any wandering spirits that might cause harm. Divination rituals were also common during Samhain. The Celts believed that this was a time when the veil between worlds was lifted, making it an opportune time to seek guidance from the other world. They would use various methods, such as reading the patterns in the flames or interpreting dreams, to gain insights into the future and receive messages from the spirits. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, it encountered deeply rooted pagan traditions like Samhain. Rather than attempting to eradicate these festivals, the Church often adopted a strategy of assimilation, incorporating elements of pagan customs into Christian holidays. This strategy proved effective in easing the transition to Christianity for many people. Thus, the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain gradually became intertwined with Christian beliefs and practices. In the 7th century AD, Pope Boniface IV designated November 1st as All Saints' Day, a day to honor all Christian saints, known or unknown. All Hallows Eve, a time for saints and souls. The evening before All Saints' Day, October 31st, became known as All Hallows Eve, or Halloween. This day was seen as a time to remember the dead, including saints, martyrs, and all faithful Christians who had passed on. The Church incorporated elements of Samhain into All Hallows Eve, such as bonfires and costumes, but these practices were reinterpreted through a Christian lens. Bonfires, once believed to ward off evil spirits, became symbolic representations of the light of Christ overcoming the darkness of sin. Costumes, originally worn to disguise oneself from spirits, were now used to represent saints, angels, and biblical figures. The medieval period superstitions and soul cakes. Throughout the Middle Ages, Halloween continued to evolve, absorbing various folk beliefs and superstitions. The belief that spirits roamed the earth on Halloween persisted, and people developed various customs to appease or ward off these wandering souls. One such custom was the practice of souling, where poor people, often children, would go door to door on Halloween, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food or money. These soulers would sing songs or recite verses in exchange for soul cakes, a type of sweet bread. It was believed that the more souls a family prayed for, the less likely they were to be haunted by restless spirits. This tradition of souling is considered a precursor to modern-day trick-or-treating. Reformation and beyond, shifting attitudes towards Halloween. The Reformation of the 16th century brought about significant changes in attitudes towards Halloween. Protestants, who rejected the Catholic doctrine of purgatory, viewed Halloween's focus on the dead with suspicion. In some Protestant regions, Halloween celebrations were discouraged or even banned, seen as remnants of pagan superstition. However, Halloween persisted in many areas, particularly in Britain and Ireland, where its roots were deeply embedded in folk tradition. Halloween across the Atlantic, from colonial America to the 19th century. Halloween arrived in North America with European colonists. In the early colonial period, Halloween celebrations were relatively subdued, particularly in New England, where Puritan influence remained strong. However, as more immigrants from Ireland and Scotland arrived in the 18th and 19th centuries, they brought with them their Halloween traditions, which gradually gained popularity. Halloween celebrations in 19th century America often blended Celtic folk customs with newer traditions brought over from Europe. The rise of modern Halloween immigration, urbanization, and commercialization. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed the transformation of Halloween into a secular holiday, largely driven by immigration, urbanization, and commercialization. The influx of millions of immigrants from Europe, particularly from Ireland, brought with them their Halloween customs, which blended with existing American traditions. As cities grew, Halloween celebrations became more public and commercialized. Businesses recognized the commercial potential of Halloween, and by the early 20th century, Halloween costumes, decorations, and candy were widely available. Today's Halloween, a tapestry of traditions. Today, Halloween is one of the most popular holidays in North America and is celebrated worldwide. It's a tapestry of traditions, woven from ancient Celtic rituals, Christian beliefs, medieval superstitions, and modern commercialism. While the holiday has undergone a remarkable transformation over the centuries, it retains echoes of its ancient origins in its focus on the supernatural, the dead, and the thinning of boundaries between worlds. From ancient roots to modern revelry, from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain to the modern holiday of Halloween, we've journeyed through centuries of tradition, transformation, and adaptation. What began as a solemn observance of the Celtic New Year has evolved into a global celebration of costumes, candy, and spooky delights. Halloween's enduring appeal lies in its ability to tap into our fascination with the unknown, the supernatural, and the enduring connection between the living and the dead. As we don our costumes and carve our pumpkins each year, we participate in a tradition that spans millennia, a testament to the enduring power of human ritual and storytelling.